It sounds to me like you're as excited to be here as I am. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to have this limited time to just share with you a little bit beyond what you saw in the video. My other two colleagues could not be here, but I'm here to represent them, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. And what we're going to say in the next couple of minutes, I'll talk about the Scientific Advisory Board and some of the things that we're thinking about becoming involved in and working with forever over the next number of years. And then I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the power of aloe. So if we think about our Scientific Advisory Board, these are kind of some additional pictures. Roger Clemens is on your left. In the middle is Peter Pressman, and I'm on the other side. Each of us have our own areas of expertise, but as we combined ourselves together, we've got about 120 years of experience in our respective areas when we combined. Roger is our expert in the area of nutrition. Peter is our clinician, and I work in the area of safety, food safety, and toxicology. Let me just give you a little detailed background of each of the three of us. The first is Roger Clemens, and Roger is a professor at the University of Southern California in the School of Pharmacology, where he teaches a number of different subjects, including regulatory aspects of foods and nutritional supplements. He's the past president of the largest industrial food technology organization in the world, some 20,000 members. He writes a monthly column in the Journal of Food Technology, and he was just awarded by the Institute of Food Technology with its most recent and most prestigious award, bringing together nutrition, dietetics, and food science. He has a number of publications, and he is the co-founder of our little consulting group called PolyScience, which the three of us are part of. Peter Pressman is a physician, but he's a research-oriented physician. He is a past flight surgeon, spending time in Iraq and Afghanistan, taking care of not just wounded Americans, but others that unfortunately were hurt. He attended medical school and then was an attending physician at the Mount Sinai Center in Los Angeles. Again, a number of publications. And he is the director of medical operations in our little consulting firm. And then these are my credentials. I'm a research professor at Michigan State University and the College of Public Health at the University of South Florida. One of the things that is unique about our groups, and I just pointed out here, I'm the past Secretary General, having served 2 terms as the Secretary General of the International Union of Toxicologists, some 20,000 toxicologists around the world. And the point here is that between the three of us, we have connections in probably every country that's recommended here. And if we don't have the answer to the question, we can turn to our colleagues in these countries to help us. And you can see I've had some experience as being past president of several organizations, a number of publications. But I guess the one that I would point out to you is that I'm the editor of one of the 2 major textbooks in the field of toxicology. The book is some 1,700 pages long, so if you have trouble sleeping, you might want to get a copy of that, and that might help you go to sleep in the evening. I'm also a vice president within our consulting firm. Now, let me spend just a little bit of time saying something about what we are going to be doing as we begin to interact with the management team, with the various research and development, regulatory and quality people. One of the issues that we see out there now is that there is a problem with people misunderstanding aloe. And the reason there's that issue is because people have looked at a decolorized aloe and made some untoward remarks about it. That is not the aloe that we use in our products. And as you saw earlier, the company has its own aloe fields. They're well controlled, so we know exactly what's going into the aloe products. We're in the process of putting together a scientific peer-reviewed paper that will set this issue to rest, and one that you'll be able to point to when you are asked about this particular aloe material. In conjunction with the Forever Living, we're beginning now to think in terms of providing scientific and medical evidence that's based on facts to share with the folks that have to respond to questions that are brought to the company that may be challenging and complex, but that we'll be able to have better answers for you, for the consumers, and even the press if we have to do that. We're also looking at the marketing and advertising copy for the veracity of the claims. We want, when you have a claim on a Forever Living product, that the data are available to support that claim. And so you can be comfortable and confident that if a claim is made, the company has documentation to support that claim. The other area that we're moving into, and is going to be very important for you, is to review all of the ingredients and the extracts that go into the various products that are sold by Forever Living, to be sure that we only put in those products that we understand, those ingredients in those products that we understand, we have an understanding of the amount that's there, and that they are going to be acceptable and safe to use under the conditions of that product. And we can do this through a number of ways, through looking at what's known as generally recognized as safe approach, or in the case of dietary ingredients, in the U.S. there's a process known as new dietary ingredient reviews. We're also going to be working with the R&D folks and the product development people to help identify novel and health-promoting components for possible innovative approaches and marketing initiatives. And we'll be working with the laboratories, one of which you'll get to see here, the one that is in Texas. And I've also been fortunate enough to visit the one in the Netherlands, to review their methodology, their instrumentation, their quality control, to be sure that the things that happen within our facilities are done properly, can be verified that they're done in the right way. Said I wanted to spend a minute about the power of aloe. And you saw in the first talk by the president of the company about that field of aloe, and that's really what this company built its reputation on, aloe. It's a wonderful product, but that, in my mind, is not the power of aloe. The power of aloe is out in this room. It's the people that represent the company. It's the people that are in Dallas, that are in Phoenix, that are in Scottsdale, that are in the Netherlands, and that are here in this audience. That is the power of aloe. Now, just some impressions from a couple of the facilities, one in the U.S. and one in the Netherlands. Having gone through these very, very carefully, we asked questions. We told the people that were taking us through the tour, the plant manager, just step out of the room. We want to talk to the people that do the work and question them. And guess what? They were phenomenal. They are very, very good. They have high quality standards, and they're dedicated to making the very best products in the safest possible way so that the products that you have are safe, effective, and that you can be proud of. Forever Nutraceutical, we went through them, and I think you're going to see that huge investment that management has put into this particular facility and also the other facilities. It's an ISO certified facility, and what that means is it meets the toughest, the highest standards within the industry to carry on the activities within that laboratory. They do high quality standard and testing, and once again, a very, very dedicated team. Let me just close by saying that Roger, Peter, and I have been in our respective fields right around 40, 35 years each. We've spent a lot of time developing a reputation. We're not going to do something that will cause us to lose our integrity and our reputation. And that's one of the reasons that when we were invited to come visit with the senior management of Forever Living, we discussed with them their philosophy, their reason for wanting us to come on, and having heard and discussed with them, we realized that they have the same integrity that we have. So we're proud to be part of this scientific advisory team and to be able to say to you, we will be working very, very diligently with the R&D, with the quality, with the regulatory people as we move forward, not just to celebrate the 40th anniversary, but maybe we'll be around for the 50th and hopefully for the 60th. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Wallace Hayes. So, do you think it was a good decision of us to partner up with these guys? Yeah?
3 of us.
They'll be, like he said, it's himself, Roger, and Peter. We're really excited to be with them. Wally, if I could just take a couple moments. I actually have a few questions that yesterday, guys, we met with the GLT.
I have to have answers.
You do have to have answers.
All right.
We met with the GLT, and they had some questions that I wanted to pass along that I think will probably benefit everybody. First off, as we mentioned earlier, and you mentioned, you traveled to Aloe Vera America, to Forever Nutraceuticals, and actually you had the opportunity to visit Forever Direct outside of Amsterdam, our distribution facility there. What impressed you the most about Forever Living and our facilities as you traveled around?
The people. Number one, the people that work in these facilities. They've been there a long time, they're dedicated, they're well-trained, and they want to do things right. Secondly, the support that management has given them so that they have the necessary facilities, the necessary equipment to do their job properly.
Great, fantastic. I appreciate that. Now, throughout your career, you've been doing this for how long, did you say?
Just about 40 years.
40 years. So you started when you were about 2 years old, right?
Just about.
All right,
That's
just want to make sure.
Thank you.
Throughout your career, I can imagine as you've traveled the globe doing this, you have been in and visited a number of laboratories, labs around the world. What set Forever's labs aside, or what made them different, or what impressed you about our labs at Forever Nutraceuticals and Aloe Vera America compared to those that you've seen around the world?
Yeah. And again, the basic answer to that question is exactly the same. It's the people, the technicians, the senior scientists, the managers. Everybody is working together to do the very best that they can to ensure that the products that are sold by Forever Living are going to be good products. I've been to a number of labs that are equally as well equipped as your labs, but the dedication of the people is not there. I have been to the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences and other NIH laboratories that have equipment that you would not believe, but the dedication of the people is not there. That's the key. If we give them the right material to work with and we keep a dedicated staff, we'll continue on into the future to have the same quality.
I appreciate that. Now, I noticed when we were in the labs, you had mentioned to me something that we do different than many labs in regards to the frequency of our testing. Can you explain us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. This is one of the things that I think impressed the three of us most. Having a background in the pesticide area and having done a lot of analytical chemistry over my career, typically companies, when they're looking at their raw material suppliers, they will do one of a couple of things. They'll either accept what their supplier tells them by looking at their certificate of analysis and saying, okay, I'm going to believe them. Secondly, the better companies will verify. I think it was Ronald Reagan that said, trust and verify. And they will take the second step. Even those companies typically only analyze their raw materials on a quarterly or a monthly basis. That means that a lot of the material that comes in is never actually checked. They do it on what we call a statistical basis.
So selective sampling, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the sampling that comes in. It's selective sampling. What actually shocked us, and I say that again, what actually shocked us when we went through the Forever Living facilities was they analyzed every single incoming raw material. Everything that comes in is analyzed. That's just unheard of. So you should be proud of that, very proud of that. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. And you know, guys, as I mentioned before, quality is the most important thing to us when it comes to our products, and we never will let you down. And that's why we put, under Rex's direction, Greg's direction, so much time, effort, and cost. Well, as you know, running those tests on every batch of raw materials and products as they're going outdoors.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap.
Not
at all.
But it's worth it for you people.
Good.
And you should thank them for that.
Hey, don't thank me, thank Rex. As you know, recently we made a massive investment in a new aseptic process to be able to process our gel and be able to remove the preservatives from it, which was a direction that we wanted to go. As you guys know, as I explained to you at Rally, with the aseptic process, what happens is the gel actually flows through these tubes and it's flash heated for just a few seconds. And it's a very quick heat that is high enough to kill any bacteria, mold, viruses, all the bad stuff in it, but it helps to maintain the nutritional value of the product, even more so than the previous process that we used before. So, Wally, I guess just from your background, your scientific background, can you just tell us, I guess, your thoughts, your opinion on the aseptic process itself?
I think the aseptic process is the way to go because it eliminates having to add preservatives. And most people around the world have concerns about preservatives. So if we can take preservatives out of our products, which you've been able to do in this case through this aseptic process, that's wonderful. That's the way to go.
Good. And that is the direction we're heading in the future. We're excited about. Now, in your presentation, you mentioned the paper that you and Roger and Peter are working on, this kind of peer-reviewed paper. Can you explain to us, I guess, first off, what it means but to be peer-reviewed, and then how that will benefit not only us as a company, but our FBOs around the world?
When we talk in our language, that is the scientific language, we have this term known as peer-reviewed. Any of you heard of that term, peer-reviewed? Good. There's some people here that can help me. What we do as a scientist is we carry out a study, and we want to repeat that study to be sure that our information is correct and that it has been validated. And we write a paper explaining in that paper how we did the study and then what our results are. And we might draw a conclusion. Then we submit this paper to a scientific journal. And there are lots of really good journals, the Journal of Food Science, a number of very good journals that we could submit this paper to. The editor of the journal will receive that paper, and he'll look at it and he says, yeah, this looks like it fits the scope and the aims of my journal. So what I'm going to do is send it out to at least 3 scientists that are experts in the field. They will go through that paper and basically try to tear it apart to make their comments to the point that it is either acceptable or not acceptable. And then in between, they will make suggestions. Being an editor of 3 journals, I know how the process works. It is a very, very laborious process. Let me just go back to when I was a graduate student. The first paper I ever submitted, I submitted it to Food and Chemical Toxicology. Leon Goldberg was the editor. I promise you, there was more red on that paper than there was black. But he gave me such wonderful, helpful support. And eventually, by listening to what he said, the paper was accepted and published. Now, that was way, way back when I didn't know what I was doing. My guess is that between the 3 of us, we're going to be able to put together a paper that will have limited problems going through the peer review process. But it will be reviewed, and once it's reviewed and accepted by the journal, and we will publish this in what's now known as open access journals. And that means that the data and the paper is freely available. So the company, all of you will be able to download that paper and give it to your clients, whoever you want to give it to. And it will be there in a published form that has been peer reviewed and available for you to use.
Wow. You guys like that? That's exciting. So let me ask you, going back to that paper, why do you believe, and I know you touched us on this a little bit, why do you believe there's this misconception that all aloe could be toxic?
I think the misconception goes back, and again, we haven't completed our literature search. I don't know all of the details yet, but my general impression from what I've read thus far is that it has to do with the fact that most people take their aloe plant, grind it up, and then use it like that. And so you have a very, very large amount of a couple of materials in it that we don't want there. Forever Living strips off and only uses a very select part of the plant, which does not contain much, if any, of this controversial material. And I think in the end, we're going to be able to, without any doubt, show that the product that you're selling is not the product that people are concerned about.
Fantastic. I'm excited to see that. So, one last question, Dr. Hayes. Why Forever? Why did you, Peter, Roger, decide that Forever was the company to team up with?
2 reasons. We got to see 2 of your facilities, and we got to meet with the people there. If they had not been of the quality, we would have not gone any further. Then we got to meet with the executive team. And you know what? You saw him a couple of times, but Rex is impressive. He told us Took me a long time to build my reputation. You people have a reputation. Neither one of us want to lose that reputation. So if we come together and do it right, we'll not only not lose our reputations, but we'll enhance them.